Hello, this is our USC Buildings Energy and Water Dashboard. I'll be presenting the first of the 2 pages we have in total of this dashboard. To kind of go over the layout of this dashboard in this particular page, we built it to drill down from top to bottom so as to tell this cohesive story about USC buildings and how they perform with regards to water and energy consumption specifically. So admin or staff from USC could take a look at our dashboard to see where they might improve in terms of energy and water consumption in order to be more environmentally friendly. To start, we did use view and high charts to make our data visualizations and put together this dashboard. We did run into some difficulties with more complex visualizations that I'll talk about in a minute. First off, we have the KPIs in this dashboard. You see the total electricity usage and the total water usage. We have that information for 2022 and 2023 with the rate of change as well, so that anybody using it can see at a glance how much has changed over the past year, how much we've used these resources. And moving on, we have the pie charts that visually encode that information. We have the color coding for each individual building, and you can hover over to see what portion of the pie chart takes up. Underneath that, we have the interactive bar chart with an interactive filter, so users can see what sort of energy or water usage statistics that they're looking at, and also toggle between the types of buildings such as residential halls or classroom buildings, or an average of all of them. Underneath that, we have the map. This is where we ran into a little bit of difficulty. We meant to have more information that appears when you hover over it, but we did have a lack of data that would be relevant for this map. We also had some difficulty with including features such as something that would appear when you hovered over each individual building. However, theoretically, you would be able to use that little toggle on the tops to select a particular date and see information for that date, and also switch between water and electricity statistics. Next to that, we have a time graph. This shows the daily resource consumption values in total for water and electricity on specific dates that you can see when you hover over that particular point in time. Underneath that, we have the bubble scatter plot. This shows when each building was built. The colors that are represented in the legend represent the building's functions, and the size of the bubbles reflect the building's size in square feet. It's also interactive, so you can see energy versus water as well. Next to that, we have the parallel coordinates graph. This provides a look at resource use for each building, including carbon emissions. Again, you can hover over a particular line and see which building that corresponds to, and it will highlight it and show you information that is relevant to that building. Finally, we have this separate section where the user could select a building to see statistics for in comparison to other buildings. So the bar chart will show you how that particular building performs relative to others. And then next to that, we have a temperature graph that shows weather data for a specific point in time that includes water and electricity usage as well as the temperature.
And now we'll go over to the second page, which is comparing USC and LA buildings. We start off with a blurb to describe what this section is about. So we are comparing the USC buildings in the previous page with 13 unique LA buildings of similar size and functions. This is to contextualize USC building performances within the greater Los Angeles community. So we start off with KPIs. This time it's about average annual building electricity and water usage. There's a very similar interactive bar chart where you can toggle between electricity, daily mean, and annual total, as well as for water. And again, with different filters, as well as the filtering for only LA buildings or filtering for only USC buildings. There's a bar chart that displays the mean total electricity consumption as well as water consumption for USC and LA buildings. This time it's also sorted by building function. And lastly, we have the proportional symbol map, and this is for daily mean electricity and water usage. It shows the location of the buildings around LA. So this part would be mostly USC buildings, and then we have the LA buildings scattered about. If you hover over it, they will show the name of the building as well as the consumption amount. So yes, this was our USC Sustainability Dashboard. Thanks for listening.